Welcome to the Soviets News. I'm Dia Popochka. The year is 1894, and living in Russia is great. I wish I could say it was true, but it's not. These censorship laws are crazy. We have to agree with the government, or we could get killed. And they have these men who dress like normal people, but are actually secret police, and they could kill you on the spot if they hear something bad. Let's talk more about Alexander III. His dad, Alexander II, was assassinated in 1881, while Alexander III was 36. But he needed someone or something to blame for his father's assassination, and then he found one. Pogroms spread all across the country. One group that was affected the most, though, was the Jews. Alexander III is a very large man. No wonder he was portrayed as a bear in political cartoons. Anyway, on to our next topic. Sorry. Oh, he died. Welcome to the Soviets News. I'm Dia Popochka. The year is 1905, and living in Russia is still not great. After Tsar Alexander III's untimely death, his son, Nicholas, became the Tsar. Let's say he was not prepared. He is struggling with being a leader. Speaking about struggles, living in Russia is a struggle for our lower class, which is a wide majority of our population. Here's what Tsar Nicholas had to say on this topic.
Man, a lot of people are unhappy with me right now. I know what I can do. I'm gonna start a war with Japan. Everyone will love me.
No one loved him. The people were mad, and protests were everywhere. And we ended up losing that war anyway, so that made the people even more unhappy. Let's take a break and look at the weather. Pagani Chuvak in Siberia. How's the weather over there?
It's cold.
Thanks. Let's get back to the protests. One day, a very large march of people headed to the Winter Palace. These people wanted food and fuel. Here's what Tsar Nicholas had to say. Sir, there's a bunch of people outside and they want food and fuel.
Oh, just open fire.
Are you sure, sir?
Can't you see that I'm busy?
Hundreds of people were injured or even killed during Bloody Sunday. At this point, the Tsar was not popular, but he had to answer to the people. So he did what the people want and created the October Manifesto. This marked the starting point for the Duma, which is the first representative body of legislative power. But there was a problem.
Yo, bro, we got this crazy idea. No, I don't think so. What? I don't want you anymore. Hey, come on, man. Can't you see that I'm still...
The Tsar could literally dissolve them anytime he wanted. Well, let's see what happens. Welcome to the Soviets News. I'm Dia Popochka. The year is 1917, and living in Russia is still not great. Well, a whole world war happened, and let's just say we didn't turn out too well. But more on that later. As if war problems weren't enough, Russia is also deeply divided politically. There are two major groups in this divide, the Mensheviks and the Bolsheviks. But, like I said earlier, we'll cover those later. Many of us Russians are still a little bit confused about the Rasputin scandal. Don't worry, I'll break it down for you. Alexis, the son of Tsarina Alexandra, had been diagnosed with hemophilia. Because of his hemophilia, Tsarina Alexandra had hired many doctors, but he never got better. She heard about this holy man named Rasputin. He was hired, and Alexis got better. She believed it was his powers, but in reality, he just stopped giving him aspirin, because aspirin is really bad for hemophiliacs. Rasputin was no holy man. This is what made the public suspicious, because in reality, Rasputin was a party-going drunk that did really bad things. This obviously led to confusion among the public. Many people were unhappy at this point. Protests spread across the nation. All this anger didn't just disappear. It boiled over in this event we call the March Revolution. What began as protests over food shortages and war failures quickly spread. Workers walked out. Soldiers refused to fire in crowds, and within days, the situation was out of control. Nicholas II was forced to step down, ending centuries of Tsarist rule. This is where the provisional government steps in. Alexander Kerensky was appointed head of the government, but he made one big mistake. He kept Russia in the war. You see, Russia did not have a great time in the war. We lost over 2 million people, so obviously the people weren't happy. Let's see where this takes us. Welcome to the Soviets News. I'm Dia Popochka. The year is 1918, And living in Russia is okay, depending on the person you ask. We have a lot to talk about. Over the past year, everything has changed. The Tsar is gone, the provisional government has collapsed, and power is held by the Bolsheviks. Let me slow it down. Last year, the March Revolution forced Tsar Nicholas to step down, ending centuries of Tsarist rule. The provisional government took his place, but they low-key failed. Meanwhile, a small political party named the Bolsheviks, which are a communist party, had been growing its army, when all of a sudden, their leader, Vladimir Lenin, appeared on a train from Germany. He quickly became their leader and a spokesman for the people. People loved him. He quickly became popular with the sayings of peace, land, and bread, and all power to the Soviets. He slowly built up an army with his military genius Leon Trotsky and the help from some military. And when the time came, he struck. He planned a full-scale invasion of St. Petersburg. And because Russia is so large, he only needed to take that one city and Russia was his. Once in power, the Bolsheviks redistributed land from the wealthy landowners to the peasants, fulfilling one of his biggest promises. In early 1918, Lenin signed the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, marking the end of the war for Russia. It was not such a great treaty for Russia, but at least we managed to get out of it. This has been one crazy year. See you guys later. Welcome to the Soviets News. I'm Dia Popochka. The year is 1922, and living in Russia is still kind of okay. During Lenin's reign, he decided to run it back with the secret police in a campaign called the Red Terror. In my opinion, it's not the greatest idea to name your own campaign the Red Terror, but it's whatever. You do you, king. This campaign was used to eliminate political oppositions. After the Bolshevik Revolution, many people were mad, especially the European countries. Those countries grouped together in order to fight the communists. I say grouped together because they had almost no communication between the nations. It was the Red Army versus the White Army. And in order to feed and fuel our army, Lenin placed war communism policies in effect. These policies limited the gain of independent businesses. Well, this is our final episode because of budgeting problems, and the secret police is probably after me at this point. And since it's our last one, let's end on a positive note. Lenin's reign wasn't all that bad. His government was one of the first in the world to recognize common ideas of health and medicine, and to make public health one of its top priorities. There are many opportunities for women to achieve greatness in this country. They were encouraged to go to college and start professions. Anyway, I've been Dia Popochka, signing off.
Check open up.
Wait, no!